You have been so kind, and you've been doing the Dev Prashna for helping so many people, and you have helped so many people in front of me. And I'm really feeling privileged to be connected with you. And sir, we were speaking about the spiritual gurus that you are having, especially Sri KT Subhakaran, and the one who has given you the spiritual sadhana, and who has made you understand the Lal Kitab as Ravan Samhita, more
Mhm.
like a historical
Mhm.
event rather than a book. So, sir, would you please be kind enough to share your guru's experiences with you?
Sure. Firstly, thank you for giving me this honor. It is absolutely a pleasure to connect with you and to your audience. And the God helps them. Who am I to help anybody? I don't think I have the capability. But yet, if He has chosen me as a medium, it's a great honor. So I just hope to connect with all sorts of people, whole lot of people, and try to at least share their grief. Sharing of grief itself is a it's a relief. Now, as far my gurus are concerned, there are basically three gurus that I have encountered. The first one is in Haridwar. His name is Lalit Pandit, my guru, and he basically is, his full name is Lalit Kapil. Okay, he comes from that Kapil lineage, and he is also into astrology. He first introduced astrology, but not in a scientific or mathematical way, but he introduced it into more of a spiritual thing. He's more into a tantra and all that stuff. So he's the one who who gave me this whole first initiation by telling me stories and all that. Because I never wanted to go into tantra or something like that. But I don't know what destiny holds. Whatever you do, somehow it takes you there. But he was the first guru, so he is right now still with me, and he's more of a spiritual thing, and he believes in mantras and doing penance and yogs and a lot of kriyas as well and yagyas, and he's very particular about those things. For him, gemstones and other remedy are less. He is more into in uh, uh, mantra therapies, doing 14 lakh, 15 lakh, 21 lakh, whatever the planet wants. And that's how creates it. And also yagya. He has initiated me three or four sadhak mantras for me by doing yagyas, especially for me. And it has been a privilege that he did it himself personally, not on with any of his students or assistants. I'm really grateful to him. So second guru, I would say, is Mr. KT Subhakar. He's a very scientific and scholarly guy, and he's into a lot of Ayurvedas and kind of translating very old Sanskrit text, the text which I haven't seen in modern times. These are the texts. I'm forgetting the name of those texts. They were called something like Panini or Pali, something like that. Pali language, I think. So even their writing are Devanagari, but very very interesting and uncharacteristic. They are kind of a single letter would consist of three or four letters of Hindi, Devanagari, Ra, Sha, La, Ra, and I absolutely have no idea how to pronounce that, because I think if I want to pronounce, I have to do a plastic surgery of my tongue. So they are so difficult even to look at those letters, and but he pronounces. So he's kind of translating all those right now as we speak. So he has been my nakshatra guru and my astrology guru. He has been guiding me every day, and he's very mathematical and precise and very scientific in his approach. The third is Mr. Sundarlal Garg. He is the director of Indian Society of Astrology, or International School of Astrology. It's in Pitampura, Delhi, where I have taken a formal education. My first guru had given me the first initiation that you have to take a formal education first and foremost, to understand, because my first guru was in Haridwar, so it was impossible for me to connect with him every day from Delhi to Haridwar. It's not possible practically also. So he told me that you need to take a formal education. Then on, I will be able to guide you, and you and I will be able to understand the language of astrology. Because until and unless you do that, there will be a lot of time waste. So Sundarlal Garg took me under his tutelage. He's a very good teacher and a very famous palmist and astrologer. And if you search for him, so you will know Sundarlal Garg. So it's his wife also teaches. So I had the privilege to be under both his wife teaching and his teaching for astrology and palmistry. And so the unique thing about Sundarlal Garg is he not only understands astrology but also understands astrology market. As a professional, he's the one I think is the best suited if you want to understand the astrology market, how to approach people, what are the things that you need to ask, and all the nuances. So I got
Exactly,
that lesson
sir.
from him.
Sorry to interrupt over here, but yeah, that is very essential because major of the people actually, it will be very nice of you if you throw a little bit more light on this because major of the people they make the mistake. They keep on repeating the same mistake. They ask a they don't ask a precise question. They ask a vague, big question. What will
Mhm.
happen with my life? Instead of asking, what career should I take in coming 15 to 20 days?
Mhm.
They never have a precise question. So, could you please explain to us about this also?
Yeah. Well, this is the lesson that I got from all the teachers basically, but more also Sundarlal Garg. When he told me that you have the responsibility to take your clients into the path where he asks the right question. You must understand client comes to us astrologer because he is in trouble right now. But as an astrologer, it's his duty not only to eradicate his trouble for the time being. Let's understand metaphorically as a doctor. So doctor has a twofold thing he needs to do whenever a patient comes in crisis. First, take out his pain through painkillers or whatever, injections or tablets or whatever. So that medicine doesn't mean that he is going to get better. That medicine is only to eradicate his pain. Then actual medicine starts. The eradication of pain is short time, and the actual medicine may take a longer time. Sometimes weeks, months, and years even, as per your afflictions. The similar thing has to be done, has to be seen and done if you're an astrologer and a patient is coming. You need to see first what is his current pain is and how I immediately give some kind of remedy to eradicate his pain right now, to bring him relief so that he comes to a certain harmonious mental state. Then if he wishes, you can take him to a path of longer medicinal thing where his ailment, the source of his ailment is treated. Now the source, that is the most important thing that an astrologer needs to bring a client on this path, to understand the source. Just because in transit right now, for example, sun is transiting in the Mars nakshatra. Now if somebody's son is afflicted, let's say somebody is sick and he has got a brain problem or bone problem, or he had a nearly fallout with his boss or his father, whatever. So the first thing we need to treat is the because that is the natal thing. Now we need to go. That is a transit thing. Sorry, and to treat
Sorry,
him.
sir. Sorry, sir. Just I'm interrupting over here because the thing you're saying is very, very important, and the people should understand this because I've been following you and the things that you're saying. This is a very important remedial measure that everybody should take. The graha is important, but in which nakshatra it is makes it double importance. So,
Absolutely.
as I remember, you had spoken about the person who is stubborn, and we have to treat his Rahu first because it is in the nakshatra of Rahu.
Yes.
So, bringing
Yes.
this into the point, the nakshatra now you're saying sun has traveled into the nakshatra of Mars.
Right now.
accordingly the Mars has to be treated.
Mars has
So-
to be treated. Now, you must understand this. Suppose this person is very sick. Now, Sun is going to travel. Sun is right now in the 25 degrees or 27 degrees, I think. Yes. So, in 3 days' time, it will change its nakshatra to Rahu and it will sit with Rahu. Now, this is a very precarious and tough situation for Sun. So, anybody afflicted with the Sun is going to be in big trouble. There could be death, if not death-like, death-like afflictions, or he will be in pain. So, wish to treat Mars or Rahu. So, this is where an astrological natal chart would come. The astrology has to see how is Mars is placed and what kind of affliction is Mars is giving. So, maybe he has to treat Mars and Rahu both, because in the future the Sun will get afflicted through Rahu, and as we know, Rahu and Sun creates a Grahan dosh. Okay, and especially when Rahu is so powerful, because when Sun will travel to Mithuna Rashi, which is the exaltation state of Rahu, so Rahu is going to gobble up Sun, and Rahul is pathogen. Rahul is extreme pain. Rahu is of course also sudden income also, but then you have to see the Lagna chart. So if this guy is under a problem, so you have to treat the nakshatra a lot first, because who is actually what is the nakshatra and planetary combination we can understand very easily. Nakshatra is
Sorry, sir. Sorry. This is the Vedic text basically. Rahu and Sun sitting together, it brings a Grahan dosh.
yes,
And it is a Pitru dosh also. And on this 22nd, we are going to see the solar eclipse.
yes,
Now, this is a scientific finding
yes,
which brings the text and the findings together, combining with the
Yes.
modern astrology.
yes,
So
absolutely, absolutely.
that is a very
Absolutely.
big finding from your
Yes.
side as well, sir.
Yes,
Now,
yes,
another thing is we are talking about Sun and Rahu, which are going to conjunct together in this month
yes.
on the 22nd, hopefully.
No, it
Sir,
will conjunct. It will conjunct on 15th.
15th.
Another 3 days to go. Today is 27
Fine.
degrees Sun. Another 3 days, 30 degrees. So that will be
1
15 to
degree in a
16.
day.
Yeah, 1 degree in a day. And then Sun travels 30 degree, so 8 degree per day. So so Sun will be in
just-
with Rahu.
Just to ask you about this, now, what about the people? You would have seen like major of the combinations will be having Sun and Rahu together.
Yes.
So, what
yes.
about the people who are having this combination of Sun and Rahu together?
Okay. Now, if the problem arises, the transiting Sun and Rahu and matching natal chart. If the Sun and Rahu, let's say there is a person called Aries, okay. Now, in his third house, Sun and Rahu is already there in his natal. Now, in the transit, they both come in natal. So, third house will get heavy affliction. His parakrama will go. His younger brother will be in a very, very precarious situation. Okay. And although Sun is good in third house, Parakram house, it is good, but still there is Buddhatiti Yoga also happening.
Yeah.
So what will happen is,
the ninth
yeah.
house. Yeah.
Yeah. So what will happen is it will give a bad affliction to the house, but yet it will bring out something good. For example, if in Aries, if it comes into third, so he has to take care of his communications. There would be a communication breakdown. He would be having a problem in his emails. His computer or laptop may break down. His mobile phone may break down. He may will be able to he may actually buy a new cell phone or a laptop or something like that would happen. So
Because
this
it
is
is a
going to
Karaka. Because
Yes,
it is
yes.
a Karaka of Rahu is the
Communication.
Karaka of.
Karaka of both, and Rahu is in communication house in Aries.
Sorry, sir. Just a moment, huh, sir.